Welcome back to the Now Mom. I'm Rachel Bennett, and today we are going to be talking about New Year's resolutions. I know that you're organizing. There's tons of people telling you how to make goals, how to achieve them, but guess what? It is time to put that aside, because what we really want to do is we want to set goals on traveling, okay? Everybody has this idea. Christmas is done and you're thinking, what's going to happen in 2020? You know what's going to happen? You're going to take a trip and it's going to be amazing. But maybe you're going to shove it to the back of the burner and you may not have money, or you may not have budgeted for it, or that deal passed because you didn't save for it. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how to budget and plan for your trips this year for 2020, because it's time to get traveling. Let's talk about this new year. You guys, there are so many things out there to help you travel. It is not just your mom's way to travel where you road tripped and you planned for 6 months and you got that one family trip for the year. No, you can be traveling all around the world for cheaper than you can probably drive to the opposite side of the United States. There's so many wonderful deals out there, and I'm here to help you plan and budget for that. So, first off, what we're gonna talk about is the first tip on getting those dreams achieved, and that is figuring out what kind of trips you wanna go on. So, Jace and I, what we like to do is we plan a family trip, a couples trip, and then individual family needs trips. So if we can have that time and we have enough time in our schedule to space those out, that's what we try to do. So the family trip is gonna be your most expensive because it's gonna involve the entire family, of course. So our family of 8, it can get pretty pricey. So we usually only do one big flight, probably out of the country. We try to do that once a year. We have found amazing deals going inside the United States, so we've done some of those, as well as road trips. For your family, figure out the best time of the year. So if your family's only time off is gonna be the summer, then you wanna plan for either early June or August. July is gonna be a more expensive month to travel in. If you are a little bit more flexible and you're like ourselves, and maybe you homeschool, or maybe you have a job that you can work from home and you can kind of take that with you when you travel, go in certain off seasons. And we're gonna talk about the best times and the cheapest times to travel a little bit later on in today's video. Now next, what I believe is super important is a couples trip. Jace and I have been going on couples trips for probably, I wanna say 10 years now. Now, some of the trips may have been really close. Some of them have been short trips. Some of them have been honestly just taking a little road trip to the next state over. But we try to set aside time during our anniversary usually, or around the surrounding months. Our anniversary is in February, so sometimes we travel in January, sometimes we travel in March. But we find that it's super important to renewing your relationship and building that up your likes and dislikes together and trying new things and making those memories. It's so important to do that. So again, if you can only afford to do something really small like just dinner, it doesn't have to be super expensive. So once you've got your family set and you want to say, hey, let's put our couples trip in this month, you're planning that out, then you can kind of see if you have time for any more trips, as well as if you have budget for any more trips. We're gonna talk about budget in just a second. So those extra trips that I was talking about, what we like to do is as separate parenting, like Jace will take one kid on a trip, or on certain years, when our children turn 9, because it's an uneventful year of their life, we actually take them on a one-on-one trip somewhere. So we've been really fortunate to take on different trips. So some of them have been a road trip to California, because that's only 5 hours from us. Or another trip has been a flight to Alaska and we go fishing. Another trip was Florida. So as you have the means and you can do different trips, keep those ideas in the back of your head as deals pop up, because maybe this is the year that your 12-year-old needs attention, extra attention and love, and they want to go on that one-on-one trip. Or maybe you're going to do a senior trip before your teenager graduates high school. Set aside those times if those are trips that you're looking for. All right, so that's step number 1. Moving on to step number 2, which is budget. Budget is what it all comes down to. So what you can afford is gonna determine maybe how long you go, where you stay, what kind of fun that you're gonna have. But don't get all cringy yet, because honestly, you can do a lot with a tight budget. So let's go over the main areas or some of the main attractions that you're gonna be traveling. So Europe is a big one that a lot of people like to go to. taking a cruise, and then also a road trip. So the first one with Europe. Now, if you are a light packer and you're not extravagant on food, I've come up with some numbers that I have scoured the internet for to give you an average of what it's gonna cost for a couple of 2 people. So when you're traveling, obviously this is like a 2-week trip. You're probably gonna go to Europe because no one wants to go to Europe for under a week, and a week to 2 weeks is a little bit tight. So 2 weeks is what we're gonna average. Now, if you have like an Airbnb and you're not kind of splurging on money, the average cost for a 2-week trip for a couple of 2 is going to cost you anywhere between $250 and $300 a night. So that's for 2 people. So that's not too bad because that could be $100 to $150 a night per person. So remember, when you're staying with a couple or even a family of 4, it probably does bring the cost down a little bit lower because you're gonna rent an Airbnb that might accommodate like 4 people. If you stay in places like hostels, if you're not familiar with that, is you basically are sleeping in your own room, but you don't have, like, you have a shared bathroom or there's like a shared common area. It's not like entirely your own bedroom with like your own bathroom and your little kitchenette like most hotels. So hostels can be cheaper, but you want to make sure that they are kind of in safer areas when you're traveling throughout Europe. Depending on where you go, remember, it is always cheaper to travel to Eastern Europe as opposed to Western Europe. Western's going to be a little bit more expensive. Switzerland and London are one of the more expensive places. So, but not too bad. You can totally make 150 work, and that does include flights. So for a 2-week trip, including transportation, food, random like paying for maybe some trinkets, as well as accommodations where you're gonna stay at a hotel or a room, if you can keep it down to about $150 a night for 2 people, that equals out to $300 for a couple. So that is $150 per person. That does include the flights. So that's about an average. Honestly, like, you can find some cheaper flights and you can find more expensive depending on what time of year you travel in. So keep listening because I'm gonna tell you the best time to book your flights as well as the best times to travel. All right, our second budgeted area is the cruise. Now, a cruise, remember, cruises are all inclusive. So your drinking, your food, activities, it's all there. And that's why a lot of people love to do this, because it is fun, usually from young ages all the way to older. And you can specify the cruise. You can do a Disney cruise, which really accommodates the younger kids, but also has lots of fun for the adults. Or you can do like an adult cruise where it's just all adults and there's not a lot of kids, because sometimes you want to get away and sometimes you want to include. So cruises can cost anywhere. You can get a really expensive down to a super cheap one, but you're gonna get an average of $225 a day per person. And I was not expecting it than Europe. So I thought that was interesting. $225 a day per person. Now, our last one that we're comparing is road trip. Road trips are great. They usually cost less than many things, many flights or cruises. So that's always fun. And you can go a lot farther, when the gas prices are low. So we took an average for a family of 4. So that averaged for a lot of the sites on the internet, it said $325 a day for 4 people, which is our lowest budgeted adventure that we're comparing today. That equals out to be $125 a person. So not a bad deal. You can go anywhere. It's comfortable to travel in your car, and that does include gas, accommodations, food, again, random spending, not like a ton of trinkets, say money, but just some random spending. So think about your budget. Honestly, it is doable for lots of families. And we're also gonna say one extra tip: if you budget your groceries and you wanna cut back on groceries a little bit each month, if you cut back like just $100 off your budget of groceries each month, in 4 months, that's gonna be over 4 days, depending on what type of road trip that you take, or depending on it could be 2 days for a cruise, or that could be like 3 days for a Europe trip. So honestly, doing a little tight on your budget can save you some money, and then you can go on that vacation that you want to. Okay, number 3, we are getting to my favorite part: how to find the best deals on traveling. This is like my favorite thing ever. I love hunting for a good deal. I love like scouring the internet and really finding like the best deal for what we want to do. So whether it is an all-inclusive hotel or a cruise, or we're gonna road trip to this location and finding the best hotel, or like the really fun activities for cheap, that's what I love to do. So we are really good at keeping like tight on some things, and then we use that extra money and we splurge somewhere else. So listen closely. These are my favorite go-to places to find the best deals. About a year and a half ago, or almost 2 years ago, I subscribed to Pomelo. Now, I'm telling you now, I'm not getting paid for any of this. These are awesome sites. Pomelo is an email service. So this like cute couple, they scour the internet and they find the best deals every single day. And then you get multiple emails a day. So I honestly get like probably 2 to 4 emails a day, and it will say travel to Singapore for this much. And it is usually half the price that it normally costs when they send out the email. They give you exact instructions on how to find these flights because it's not like a direct link and cut through. Usually they go to Google Flights and they tell you how to look for the dates, and Google Flights is great. You type in your destination and you type in about the dates and it pulls up a calendar and it will tell you like each single day what the lowest price is. And then it pulls up all those sites. Sometimes it's like Delta or American or United. Sometimes it's the cheaper airlines like Southwest or Spirit or whatever that's showing all of these flights. So they scour all the airlines. So Google Flights is awesome. If you want to subscribe to someone, Pomelo is great, Pomelo. Honestly, great email service. And I think it's only like $20 a year. And I have saved hundreds of dollars just on like one flight, let alone like for all of our family, and 8 flights. We got round trip tickets from Vegas to London for $400. We've gotten trips from Las Vegas to China, round trip for $400. Actually $500 in Comfort Plus, which was amazing. So you can find great flights. They notify you all the time, and then you just have to kind of search for the specific dates you're looking for. Another great site, which I am testing out, so I can tell you more about it a little bit later, is Next Vacay. Very similar email subscription type where you pay for like a year, but you actually tell them where you're looking for. So like, I'm on the hunt for Hawaii, and whenever deals pop up, they will email you specifically about that. Or I'm on the hunt for Europe, and then they will email you specifically for those things. Great thing, because then you don't have to hunt as bad. But Pomelo I love because it's like, oh, Singapore pops up. Oh, like California pops up, or oh, let's go to Europe. So it's always like an idea because we love those, and that kind of helps plan for our fun adventures coming up. Here is the nitty-gritty about how to buy, what time of the year to buy, and what day to purchase your flights on. So listen closely. They say the lowest fares are 160 days out, but I have found anywhere from even like 70 to 160 days. So right now is the time to buy. The best months to shop for flights are January, then 2nd February, and then 3rd August. So if you're looking for flights, now is the time to book your trip for later on in the year. Now, the times to actually travel can be spring. So if you're looking to book your spring break now, go for it. Always keep in mind though, heavy traffic times like spring break, middle of summer, and then as well as Christmas are gonna be a little bit pricier unless you are consistently searching for a good deal like over a couple months. So the best times to buy is Tuesday at midnight. This is crazy, but I've searched all over the internet, and really, if you get on your computer at Tuesday in the evening, you can find a better deal on that day versus even like Monday in the afternoon or Friday in the afternoon. So look on Tuesday afternoon, as well as Sundays are good days to look for flights as well. And last tip about when to purchase your thing is they say some of the cheapest months to fly in are June, August, and September. Now I'm gonna tell you, I have not flown in June, but we like to fly in February, March, and we find those are great times to fly, especially like when you go a little bit warmer. Not crazy warm, but like Mexico's are always great times to fly in February, March. I have found great deals for Hawaii in March. So if you're looking to get out of your winter situation, head over to Mexico or Hawaii. You can find great deals in February, March. Now, the next best time, again, I am gonna say is fall. We have done some amazing trips August, September. That's when we went to Europe. We took all the kids, we got their $400 round trip to London, and that was in August, and then we came back in September. So those are truly great times to book for. And if you keep an eye out, you can find really great ones in the winter time. So we went to China in November, and that was our round trip from Las Vegas to China for under $500 in Comfort Plus. That was booked in November. So sometimes the peak seasons will be holiday time, but again, if you're going somewhere random, December can be a great time to fly. But I found the best deals to be in that January, February, March, August, September, or November. Honestly, I want you guys to sit down, plan out a vacation. Why not? This is the best time to purchase, and with the budget numbers that I gave you, you could probably set aside that amount of money and save it for those times, because it's only now. You guys, it's time to live now and to have fun and make those memories. Now, don't go overboard and like blow the budget. Trust me, it brings me greater thrills and memories when I know I'm like working on a tight budget, because then we find all the awesome activities. If you're gonna go to Europe, a lot of museums under 16 will let the kids in for free, because they have a lot of fun deals for, like, when you purchase like an adult, a lot of the children will go free. There's many places that have free outdoor activities, or like museums have some like tours that are really, really cheap. So keep an eye out. There is tons of awesome activities wherever you go in the world that can be really cheap and within your budget. Comment down below all the fun places that you've been, because I want to know your tips and tricks on where you've been and what's your favorite places that you have been, and things I gotta see, because we're always on the hunt for a good vacation. And if you guys want to know where we're going next, keep watching. All right, if you guys have any more comments and want to see more fun videos like this, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below, because I'll be sharing more tips and tricks about traveling and showing you our next adventure, because it's coming soon. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'm Rachel Bennett, and you're watching The Now Mom. Bye.